All right, so step one, this is one of the most important tasks, and it's to create a backup. You want to create a backup for every company code that you'll be processing year-end for. Depending on the settings, some of the data is purged whenever you're running your period end to close modules. So this is why you want that backup, if you need that snapshot of your data, just in case you end up needing to go back to it. All right, and step two, you'll want to go ahead and clean and reconcile. Once you have your backups done, it's time to go ahead and do your year-end processing and get ready for the new year. You'll want to reconcile your subledgers, make sure your AR trial balance ties to your GL, AP, inventory, and you'll also want to make sure your purchase order clearing also ties out. And the next part of step two is you want to purge any obsolete purchase orders, even purchase orders with back order statuses. There is a utility out to do that. It's recommended to go ahead and purge old purchase orders, not really new ones. Anything that's new, we'll usually try to figure out why that needs to be cleared out. And you can always open a support ticket with support if you need help with that. You can also purge any obsolete sales orders. And then finally, you'll want to go ahead and review your setup options to determine if they're adequate for the upcoming year. Certain things in the setup options, for instance, every single module has an area where you can fill in how much history is kept. And say if you have history at 3 years, when you run your period end, it would clear out any data that's past that, which is also why you want that snapshot. All right, and another part that is really, really important is your order of closing. It's critical that you follow this. Some modules impact other modules when you're closing, so if you go out of order, it could cause an issue. You want to go into your bill of materials, work order, barcode, purchase order, sales order, inventory, MRP, time card, electronic reporting, payroll, AR, AP, job cost, general ledger. Assuming you have all of those, some of those modules you may not own, but you'll still want to go in that order. And then as far as inventory tasks, this is especially important if you're on FIFO, LIFO, or any costed tiers. You might find some tiers that are negative, and running that negative tier report will help adjust. And then for physical count, which is also important, you'll want to make sure prior to that you have everything posted in all modules that could impact your account. So close out all your sales orders or anything that will be touching your inventory. All right, and then general ledger. You'll want to go ahead and close your general ledger, or you can keep it open depending on if you're going to need to go back later on and make adjustments or anything needed. So this is the only module that would be safe to go ahead and leave open a year if you needed to. And then you'll also want to make sure all your budgets are entered, and there's 2 ways to do that, with a VI job or general ledger exchange. And if you haven't done that before, that's also one. Feel free to give support a call, and we can help you out with that. Okay, accounts payable tasks. This one is pretty important to get your 1099s all together, and I'm going to walk you all through exactly how to do that. One important part is prior to doing your 1099s, we have to make sure that your IRD is installed. This is a piece of the puzzle that's needed in order to make sure that your 1099s are going to print properly. You'll need that, and then also to update Atrix, and I'll walk you through that. All right, so I'm going to pull up my Sage. And where this is located is you want to go to your AP reports, and it is your Form 1099 e-filing and reporting. I always keep a shortcut up here. Okay. So there is one important part. I often get calls and they say it's not working, and one common part is you want to make sure you select the form type you need. I'm going to go ahead and do miscellaneous. And this is the minimum year-to-date payment. If say you put 600, anything under 600 that you've paid out to vendors will not show up on this report. And then you'll select your 2016 1099 calendar year, all types. And where this data is pulling is this data is pulling from your AP vendor maintenance. And in there, you can go ahead and verify if anything's incorrect. But I'm going to go ahead and proceed. All right, and this is just going to take a second to pop up. All right. Prior to this screen, you will probably get another screen that says Update. I've already done that part, but you'll want to go ahead and hit Update, and what that'll do is that will bump you up to the brand new 2016 forms. But that still is only part of the puzzle. You'll have to get that IRD done by ISM prior to actually doing that update. So I'm going to go ahead and start processing. You're also welcome to select test if you want to test it prior to doing this. And then you'll verify your EIN is correct. It will make you have all the required information before going to the next step. So for testing purposes, let me get this filled out. And it wants a phone number too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm filing for my company employer. If you're a third party, you would select that. This is if you needed to add in anything for state and local tax items. And then if you have any that are required to do electronically, and you would just fill out this to whatever formatting you would need. And I'm going to select that I'm using a single 1099 for the EIN. If you had multiple, you'd select that one. And so this is going to pull us into the Atrix part. I don't have any vendors currently out there that need to, or actually I do have one. But I'll walk you all through this process when we start the W-2 part. It's fairly similar. And let me pull up the PowerPoint. All right. If we lost place, give me 1 second. Okay. Payroll tasks. You'll want to go ahead and perform these following payroll tasks. You want to print your 941s and 940s. You'll print out your W-2s, any state required forms, and your ACA reporting forms. I will also show you where all of that's located. It's very important that you have your backup for this part. If you have to produce your payroll for January 1st and have not done your W-2s yet, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do that in a backup. Also, if you have applied Q1 2017 tax table update, it would have changed your Social Security limits, which would need to change back and install for when you go ahead and print your W-2s. And you can also give support a call, and we can help you out with that part. And this link here is where you can go ahead and order your forms. They have all the 1099s, the W-2s, or whatnot. And if you're not sure exactly what you need, go ahead and call that 1-800 number, and they're great and can help you out with that part. The IRD is now available, so just give us a call and we can get that installed. Then Atrix, their update's already out. That's the part that will pop up when you're in there. You just click on update and it will update itself. However, if Atrix has never been used on that machine before, you will get an error message saying that it's not been installed. If that's the case, go ahead and give us a call and we can help get that installed on that workstation. There are some requirements to be able to run that IRD. You must be at least on 2014 Product Update 7 or 2015 Product Update 3, 2016 Product Update 1, or 2017. If you're not on that, it will not allow us to do that IRD, and we'd need to either install another product update for you or do an upgrade. And here's all your information here that you'll need for your supported versions with the IRD, phone support, your tax table updates, the hot fixes, and all of that. And now I'm going to walk you all through how to do the W-2 part. All right, so what you'll want to do, this part is going to be located in payroll. And then you'll go ahead and go to period end. And this is everything you'll need for doing your state and federal reports. So in here, one thing you'll notice is all of mine say 2016. That's because I had hit that update button. If you hadn't, they will say the wrong year, and you will need this up to the right date in order for your right form to print. This right here, this is everything that has to do with your ACA, and then I'm going to go down and walk you through how to do your W-2s. All right, so here's your 2016 W-2s, federal. I'm leaving this at 2020 just because that's where my date is on my test system, but you'll have the correct. You'll want to make sure your federal ID is in here. Another common problem I'll get is you'll also want to make sure this federal ID is in your library master main company maintenance stores your federal ID, and also in your tax tables there's the federal ID, and if this doesn't match, it won't let you proceed. Let me bring this back up. I'm going to go ahead and hit accept. And again, you're probably going to get a screen that's going to pop up right now and say update. I'm just going to ignore this message because this is just test data. All right. I'm going to go ahead and process them now. You can also select one of these to do a test run. And again, I'm going to have to put in my address. After you do this the first time, it should remember the address. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select I'm filing for my company or employer. And I just need to update my formatting. You'll have the correct information, or should, in here. The testing environment just doesn't give me the correct setup. All right, so this is just everything for your state and local tax items. And then for this screen, you'll want to go ahead and enter in any changes that you need for your W-2. If you have any employees who are exempt from Medicare, you would select that. If you have any employees who earn Social Security tips, control numbers, or elected to receive W-2 forms electronically, you'll want to select the correct setting for that. I'm going to go ahead and do my 941. And I am going to select the single payroll data file for this EIN. And I'll walk you all through exactly how to do this part once this loads. Okay. So when you hit next, if there's any incorrect information or anything that needs to fix, Atrix will stop you, and it will put them in red. So I'm going to hit go back and correct. Since this is all just test data, it didn't fill it out, so I'm just going to do add in a few addresses. This will work. And this is just testing data. You probably won't want to be doing it this way. Get these filled out. And also, this can't be starting with a 9. Okay, so once you have all the red gone, it should let you get to the next step. And yet I have more issues. Okay, that should let me get to the next part. Right, and once you have everything corrected, it will let you get to the part to print. Okay. So this is the part that you have to go ahead and print your W-2s. You have a few different options. This is the most expensive option. Well, they'll go ahead and do everything for you. They'll print and mail employee copies, your W-2s, and they'll file your federal and W-3, file your state W-2s and reconcile, and the W-2s available for all employees, and that's for 85. Or for what I'm going to do, you can do it manually, the other options. I'm just going to go ahead and print my employees and print federal and print the state. And go ahead and select next. And this is just if you want to add any divider sheets. Okay, and this part here tells you exactly which forms that you'll be needing to print, or that will be printing. All right, and then here we are at the portion will allow you to print all those W-2s for both your employer and employee copies. Keep in mind that the employee copies are 4 pages, and the copies for the federal government, those are all 2. And so you'll just go through and print, and then it'll let you get to the next step. And this is also the part that you're going to be loading in that paper that you've purchased from Sage. Oh. That out to my printer. Can't pull that. Okay. And then you'll just go ahead and finish loading all the forms that you need and print out everything that you need, and that's it. And then this is the part here, the 2-page form. And do W3s. And then they also give you the notice to go ahead and print as well. And you'll just go ahead and hit print and then OK. And that's it. And then it does save it to your history, so you will be able to go back if needed. All right. And if you all have any questions, go ahead and contact support at goism.com. And yeah, that should do it.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your presentation today. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at am@goism.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.